The media is getting a little jealous. They see Hunter Biden getting all this attention for his daddy's pardon, and they're saying, what about us?
He can issue blanket pardons to entire categories of people for any conduct relating to Donald Trump. It would cover journalists. It would cover anyone who he has identified by name or type. Can he do that? Absolutely.
Everybody wants to walk around with the big P on their chest. They think being pardoned and protected against Trump's revenge makes them a part of history. Trump was going to arrest me, but then Joe Biden saved my life. Without a pardon, no one's going to remember who these people are. But Biden's actually thinking about it. Politico reports, quote, President Joe Biden's senior aides are conducting a vigorous internal debate over whether to issue preemptive pardons to a range of current and former public officials. Biden's considering pardoning Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, and Fauci. Jim Clyburn says pardons for everyone. He said, pardon Trump. That's what he said. Trump doesn't need a pardon, though. He can do it himself. And Trump's party wouldn't be upset at him because they know his indictments were political. No one can even name a victim. Hunter, on the other hand, his victims are everywhere. One of his old landlords says Hunter still owes him money. He tried to pay rent with his paintings. So what happens to the $300,000 in back rent pay that Hunter Biden owes my family from 2019 to 2020? Is that pardon now? Thanks, Joe. And the judge in the Hunter tax case just wrote that Biden's trying to rewrite history with his pardon. Hunter celebrated the pardon by watching a documentary about his own life that his sugar brother financed. Can't wait for that to come out. A source told the Post, quote, he's happy and a huge weight was lifted off his shoulders, which he's had to carry since his dad got elected. Most of Joe's media soldiers abandoned him during the coup, but he's still got a few stragglers trying their best to defend him. The View co-host Anna Navarro says presidents pardon family members all the time. Look at Woodrow Wilson. He pardoned his brother-in-law, Hunter DeButts. But Woodrow Wilson never had a brother-in-law named Hunter DeButts. There's no record of anybody with that name getting a pardon from Wilson or anybody. Although sources tell Primetime, Wilson considered pardoning a man named I.P. Freely. Seriously. Hunter says Navarro says it's not her fault. She said she got that information from the internet. It wasn't just Navarro. Esquire printed a story that said George H.W. Bush pardoned his son Neil. The writer, Charles Pierce, told his readers to shut the F up about Hunter because H.W. pardoned his son too. But that never happened either. They issued a correction and took the piece down. Wouldn't it just be easier to say Biden was wrong?
I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. When it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
That's why I'm an independent.
Yes, but
I think that's the best way to go.
But that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
Why can't you say when Democrats are wrong?
No, the party's fractured. Some think Biden's a saint. The rest kind of heard he lied to them.
President Biden lied and repeatedly lied and said he wouldn't pardon Hunter or commute a sentence. He had his press secretary lie on his behalf. Biden's supporters held up Joe Biden's refusal to pardon Hunter as an example of his commitment to the rule of law in contrast with Trump. Now everyone looks stupid. Everyone looks like they're full.
Whether or not Biden actually in his mind believed he was going to try to not do this, or on some level he always knew he would do it, I don't know. But I thought he was going to do this. I felt like this was something that was coming.
I don't know. I feel like a fool. That's what makes me mad about it.
Newsom says he's not mad at Joe. He's disappointed. Quote, with everything the president and his family have been through, I completely understand the instinct to protect Hunter, but I took the president at his word. So by definition, I'm disappointed and cannot support the decision. Newsom's a top contender for 28, but to get there, he's going to need to wash all that Biden stink off his polo. In 4 years during the Democrat primary debates, these guys are going to be pointing at each other. You wanted to build back better. No, I didn't. I wanted him impeached. Biden's legacy's dead. and Democrats are hitting each other over the heads with shovels as they try to bury it. Evan Barker is a former Democratic campaign operative who quit the party and voted for Trump. So how are you processing the pardon, Evan?
I mean, I'm not afraid to say it, Jesse. Joe Biden is absolutely wrong. This is a gross abuse of presidential power. And, you know, what makes it so profoundly wrong, on top of the fact that he's like the only person that's ever done this before, is the fact that he's been on tape lying about it repeatedly over the last year. And it's not exactly surprising to me either, though, given that the Democratic Party has a history of this. You know, they're known for being very hypocritical. I mean, just look at how the Democratic Party lied to the American public repeatedly about the cognitive decline of this president.
So you're mad at the lying about the pardon. You understand why he did the pardon. Were you mad about what got Hunter in trouble in the first place? The bribery, the money laundering, the tax evasion? Because a lot of the Democrats never had a problem with any stuff about that. They just got mad that Joe made them look bad by lying that he wasn't going to pardon them.
Well, and I honestly think that part of that was that, and not to give the Democrats too much credit here because they don't deserve a lot, especially with how they've acted over the last couple of years. It's just that Democrats exist in a media silo. So really the only major network that's been covering what Hunter Biden's been up to has been you guys, you know? So a lot of them just, it's like they don't even believe it. They still think it's some sort of right-wing conspiracy theory, to be honest with you.
I pray for you guys. I really do. You should just watch Fox. That's really the thing that's going to solve things.
Don't let me up with them, Jesse. I am an independent now, and I have officially left the party. And I do want to say this about Gavin Newsom, by the way.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom, if he actually becomes the nominee in 2028, the Democrats deserve to lose again, because there's no way that a pretty boy from Marin County is going to be able to win over swing voters in swing states.
You don't think Gavin Newsom's working class enough to connect with the everyday working man and woman of the heartland?
I think people remember him dining at the French Laundry, and that will definitely be brought up. So if they nominate him again, they deserve to lose.
All right. Well, he does like to dress up in workers' clothes and play that role. We'll see if he can pull it off. Evan, great to see you. Thank you so much.